Survivor. What was that like?
Yeah, it was interesting. It's obviously not something that you hear of often. I think the numbers was 200 men each year in Australia, I believe. But it happens, and it's it's something you got to be aware of, and to hear from it from a survivor, it was really interesting.
7th pink game. How important is this round to the club?
I actually didn't realise it was 7. Time flies, and that's huge. You talk about not just the money raised, but the awareness as well. Everyone knows someone that's been affected by it, and to have 7 of these games under our belt, or 6 rather, it's huge for the WA community.
How do you reflect on the first 2 games?
Up and down. It was obviously a slow start on Friday, but I think we did well to pick it back up, and it's always good to get the first win of the season. It always feels nice, especially at home. Second game, obviously the third quarter wasn't great. We had some really good opportunities in the first half to extend our lead, and we didn't. Credit to those guys, but we watched a bit of film. We'll probably watch a bit more, but we had our chances, but they played well.
You've been around the club for a long time now. How do the likes of Alex Sarr and Mitchell compare to the generations of young talent you've seen come through the club?
It's exciting, especially you talk about Alex. His size and his length and his athleticism is something that I think the Wildcats haven't seen, but also the NBL. He's incredibly long. He's incredibly agile. Benny's obviously had a phenomenal game, and the way he responded after the first one was just, I think he showed a lot of maturity. So it's exciting.
Do you expect teams to target Alex Sarr, and how do you expect him to, deal with that target, I suppose?
I think what's impressed me most about Alex is his maturity. He's 18 years old, but he's come in and he'll listen. When spoken to, he's willing to learn. So I'm sure he'll have a target on his back. But so far, I think he's handled it really well.
What about you, for you personally, with this young talent coming through? What sort of role do you expect to play this year? Are you expecting to take a bit more of a backseat?
Yeah, look, do what's required. Obviously a bit of younger talent, so if I can talk to them and pass on some of my tips and tricks. I don't have the tools that some of them have in terms of athleticism or length or agility, but hopefully I can teach them something.
Can you rank them, like these 2 kids compared to others you've seen come through?
Oh, look, it's tough. I mean, we're 2 games in at the end of the day, but they're certainly a talent.
Like you said, you have a small taste of what they can do, but what role do you expect for them to play as the season goes on?
Look, they're still young, and the season is still young, so it's tough to tell in that regard too. You look at Benny, who didn't play on Friday and then comes out and does that on Sunday. So it's a great job of grabbing his opportunity when it comes. You never know when it's going to happen. There's going to be injuries, knock on wood, but you never know when your opportunity is going to come, so you've got to grab it.
What about Christian Doolittle? He's been around the club for maybe a week now. How is he fitting in, and what have you made of him so far?
He's been great. To step in, I think he landed Wednesday maybe, and to step out and perform how he did on Friday. He's been great. He's solid, obviously. He's balanced. He's intelligent. Good talker. I think he's young, but he plays older than he is, so he's been great.
Obviously, you had some interest from other clubs in the off-season, and you've spoken about your decision to re-sign and remain with the Wildcats. How do you sit and reflect on it now?
Oh, I don't know, same as I did before. It's a phenomenal club to play for. My wife and myself and our 3 little kiddos have kind of made it home. You mentioned there were offers, but at the end of the day, it's a phenomenal club to play for, and Perth's a phenomenal city to live. So, happy with the decision, and season's underway.
36ers on Friday. What do you make of them?
Look, they're going to come in and they're going to be desperate for their first win. Obviously we played them in the Blitz, and I don't think that was a true kind of representation of where they were at or who they are. They're going to be desperate. They went down to the wire against Melbourne. Melbourne are obviously a high quality team, so we're expecting a high quality team, and CJ's got them well drilled. So a tough clash.
A few fouls early on in Sunday's match, some frustrations there on the court. Have you guys had a bit of a debrief about that?
Not specifically. We've got to be mature enough to adjust, and that's a fact of the matter. It's the refs call them how they call them, and if we're not adjusting, then it's kind of on us. So, we'll make some adjustments. We want to be physical and up and in, but if we're fouling, then it's no good. So, have some maturity to adjust and see how the game's being played.
No, you've got
I'm not a
one.
journalist
You've
anymore.
got one.
I'm not a journalist anymore.
Happy? Everyone's happy? Cool. Thank
All
you.
good.
Thanks, Jesse.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.